So much has changed over the last 2 years, and unfortunately for so many, it's changed in the wrong direction. Well, today, this video is going to have information that is going to hopefully make things better for some who take action. I'm going to look at number 1, making more income. This could be something on the side, something part-time, something that you already do, but you can actually make a few bucks. The second thing we are going to talk about is food. Now, of course, there's so much to it. It's not just what you order at the restaurant or what you buy at the supermarket. There's another component that has been lost over the years. We will talk about that. And the third thing is related to energy. It is so important to take a look at all of these aspects, and I'm going to cover as much as I can here. I'm going to try to include information for everybody and hopefully make this enjoyable and informative. Let's begin. So let's start right here. This is a website called TaskRabbit. All different types of tasks that people can sign up and start to do. Other people go on here to look for things to be done in their home. Look, simple things like assembling a desk or table, mounting a TV or a mirror, moving boxes, cleaning, houses and bathrooms and so on, fixing toilets and deliveries and so on. Now, you would think to yourselves that this is perhaps not a glamorous job, or maybe how can you get consistent access to people and so on? Because it's not, you don't want just $20 here and $50 there. No, you want to have some level of consistency. Look at the prices that are here, okay? Just look. Lifting furniture, by the way, just look. Average project of assembling a table. And we're talking about, IKEA level stuff. $56 to $136. Look down, mounting a TV, $63 to $141. Many of these things are $30 to $50 to even much higher per hour. Now we are talking about very consistent, especially if you work at this for a little while. Putting together IKEA furniture, doing simple tasks, this could be a way that when you have availability, that you can make a little bit of cash on the side. Then you could take that and put it where you need to, whatever you feel is the right thing to do. TaskRabbit. By the way, all the links will be in the description under the sources. Now, this happens to be Craigslist, but there are many others. Facebook Marketplace, and there's Kijiji, and wherever you are, there's always one. But on these sites, not only do they have the paid sections, the classified ads, but they also have a free section. And generally, there's a lot of garbage in here. But just take a look at this example. This is a piano. Now, this piano is going to be heavy. It's going to be hard to move, of course. But this piano here is worth money. And you could simply take that and move it to a different location, clean it up, fix it, tune it, whatever it needs to do. Maybe it's completely fine. They just don't want it anymore. And you go there, sell it to the next person. Maybe you're going to make $100. Maybe it's going to be $200. Whatever that is. That's just one example. Look, there's a lot of garbage, like I said, okay? But you look through here and you could actually find some stuff that is worth money. I mean, I saw this. Cardboard moving boxes. Now, if it's just 2 or 3 boxes, it's not going to be worth it. But these sell for $2 plus per box. So you just multiply. If there's 100 boxes, you could potentially sell that for $1 a box. This could be something. And you can then resell these. Where do you resell it? Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, there's just all kinds of things in here. Televisions and furniture and what have you. Like I said, most of it's garbage. But there's always stuff to be had. What do? All right, then you go over to Amazon and you resell that on Amazon. Yes, you could sell it on eBay and you could also sell it back on Craigslist, but you can also do so on Amazon. Why Amazon? Because there often isn't those sales. People aren't looking for deals when they go to Amazon. They're just looking for easy access. Amazon, you could check that out. If you are interested in Amazon, I have an entire free, completely free course of how to sell on Amazon. It is called the Amazon GPS, theamazongps.com. There are approximately 10,000 people in this course. I made it completely free, which is absolutely insane, but here it is. Now let's start to switch gears. Food. There's food for business, which is what I'm talking about, and then we'll talk about something else in a moment. But here we have it. This is just one example of an individual growing microgreens for business. Microgreens for business. I have heard from you that number one, think it's interesting, and number two, other people doing this themselves. And why is this fantastic? Well, you can grow all different types of crops, but microgreens have a very high profit margin. The turnaround time is very short. A lot of cases, 7 days, maybe 14 days for some, depending on what it is. And you're going to sell this entire tray. You're not selling one little bundle of it. You're going to sell it by tray, most likely. So you're going to get a good chunk of profit off of this. Remember, it's just a few seeds to grow a tray of food and some water and some lights and so on. But you can see there are many, many examples of people doing this. And the best way to go about this is not to sell to individuals, but to sell to your local restaurants, to your local supermarkets, to your local markets of any kind, because they're going to be those consistent buyers. They want this stuff. If you've got good quality produce, they need that. You can provide it to them. Many people are making 6 figures in income by doing this. Okay, it takes time, it takes effort. It's not easy. Nobody said that. That's not what this video is about. It's not about easy. It's about sweat equity. It's about doing things that you can today to bring that income in. Okay, that's what we're also talking about here with Airbnb rental arbitrage. What is that? Well, imagine Airbnb has its risks associated with it, because if you are the landlord and you've got tenants coming in, they're coming in every night, there's a problem, you're worried about the long-term value of that property and so on. But rental arbitrage is essentially you go to the owner of that house and you say, look, I'm going to do Airbnb in your house. So you don't own the property, it's not yours. You work out an agreement. And why would somebody want to do that? Well, number one, a lot of these owners don't want to deal with the whole Airbnb back and forth. But maybe you don't have that income to put forth, but you're interested in just making some income for the next year. Well, you could sign that contract 1 year. I am going to do this for 1 year, and you're going to get a higher rent than you're going to pay a higher rent than what somebody normally would for that whole month. All right. So if they're going for, let's say, I don't know, $1,000, you're going to give them $1,200 because there's obviously risk associated with this. But if you're doing it with Airbnb, you as the individual are going to potentially, if you do it right and plan and so on, if your area is good for this, you're going to be able to attain a higher total monthly income. And so you're going to be able to profit from it. That's just one example. Now, the food situation, this is huge. People talk, oh, it's expensive, it's hard, you can't do it, a cold climate, cold climate, cold climate. I hear that all the time. This is called a hoop house, kind of like a greenhouse, but a cheaper version. And essentially it is the same thing. But if you search the term hoop house, it's generally like a cheaper version, essentially, okay? And if you love growing food, if you're interested in growing food, if this is your thing, hit that thumbs up button, okay? Because we are on the same page. Just look at these as an example. I mean, I'm just showing you what's available just as a prop, essentially. But you can make these yourself. You don't have to buy them. You could use PVC pipe. You can use a little bit of wood, whatever the case may be. You could check out a channel called 1 Yard Revolution. He grows in Chicago, grows all year round. And what you're doing here is you're helping yourself out long-term. You're reducing your food costs, and you're also helping everybody out in a sense because you're not as reliant on the very fragile system that we have in place. Another thing is simply to buy food in bulk. I am not vouching for this website. It might be a good place, but essentially just to buy food in bulk. What do you do then? Well, you get something like this. This happens to be just organic dried green lentils, 25 pounds. And then you could take that and you could store that properly. You could do Mylar bags, you could do buckets, you could put the oxygen absorbers inside and keep these for a long period of time. It's pretty easy to do. It's not a big deal, but that's on you. It takes a little bit of time. You're going to save money. You are going to decrease the chance that you have an issue with your food supply. And in my opinion, knowing what we know, 2022, the expectation of higher inflation means buying today saves you money long term. Even if it was the same price, technically, it's going to be more expensive next year. So by buying now, you're going to get a discount, but also you get a discount in buying in bulk in general. What about energy? This happens to be solar panels for Australia, but it doesn't matter. All I'm just saying here is that we need to get a hold of our energy situation, whether that's geothermal, whether that is solar, whether that is whatever you're using. Look into it for yourself, because in some cases you might be able to get a tax rebate. You might be able to, some people like to do where they allow the company to put it up on their roof for free. It powers the house, but any energy that's not used goes back into the grid, and then that company who paid for the system basically takes all that profit. So you don't pay anything. They essentially use your house as, a way to just make some profit long term. It depends on your area. It depends. There's a lot there. But what about fixed price electricity plans? I'm just showing you this website as a prop again. Fixed energy plans. What do? You go to your service provider and you ask for fixed pricing. Not all of them have it, but I have heard from many people, many of my subscribers, after talking about this, that they did this. And it wasn't an issue. It wasn't a big deal. They just asked them. They made it happen. And that might be a case where, now you get the fixed pricing, but the pricing drops. But just like a mortgage, would you rather have a variable rate mortgage, or would you rather have a fixed rate mortgage? It depends on your tolerance for risk and so on. But it's really good to know that you can decide long term what your payments are going to be, whether that's your mortgage or whether that's your energy. So I just want to bring these things into your head to make you aware of all of that. This today was just some suggestions. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you got a lot out of this, whether we are talking about ways to make income, whether that's your food situation or combining the two, your energy. All of this is so important, so key. And I hope that you found this informative. If you did, simply hit that thumbs up button to support the channel. It's right down below. I've got all kinds of videos right here in this playlist. Check it out. All right, right here. Take a look, click it, and I will see you there.